What's up guys, welcome back to another quick upload here on the channel. We're going to do a little quick install on the 3rd gen Tacoma once again, and today we're going to be installing the Total Chaos Bed Stiffeners for the truck. And the reason why I'm going to be installing these is to help with the added weight and our off-road articulation. These beds, as you guys may know, on these trucks are all composite, and the theory is by adding these brackets on the back of the truck here and the back of the bed, it's going to provide extra support, especially when you have extra weight putting pressure down on the composite bed. So it's going to add a little bit more support so that you don't crack your bed or do damage to your composite bed on your Tacoma. I am going to be linking these in the description. Again, they're the Total Chaos Bed Stiffeners for your 3rd gen Toyota Tacomas. Okay guys, so here's what you're going to get in the box, as well as the tools I'm going to be using to do this install. A left and a right bed stiffener. These things are built like bricks. Honestly, they are pretty thick. So once again, you're going to get 2 bed stiffeners, a bag of supplied hardware to mount everything, and it looks like a directions manual and a few stickers, etc. And what I'm going to be using for tools is obviously a drill and a 5/16 drill bit, a 3/8 drive ratchet, a T55 Torx bit, a T40 Torx bit, a small 3" drive extension, and a 10 mil. So in theory, this is about where the Total Chaos Bed Stiffener is going to sit roughly. And the cool thing about these specifically is that they actually follow the contour line of the truck and of the bed. So they're going to follow all the way up, and you're actually going to use this top bolt to mount the stiffener up there. And the tools that you're going to need is obviously the T55. So the T55 is going to take and remove this bolt here, holding your bed in place, and your hook here is the T40. That's going to have to get removed to install, as well as your taillights. So the 10 mil is going to be for your taillights, and we'll go on how to remove those, because you're going to have to drill 3 holes in the side here to actually mount the stiffener in place. And for right now, as you guys can see, I am running a Tacoma OEM bed mat that I've had for many years. I'm going to have to modify it to retain the bed mat, because the stiffener has to be placed in here, and for now I'm gonna have to move this out enough to actually work in there and get this out and get it mounted in. But afterwards, I'm gonna show you guys, if you guys are running a bed mat, I'm gonna trim this out perfectly so it fits the stiffener perfectly. So the first thing that we're gonna do is actually remove the tail light enough out of there so that we can access in here and to drill our holes and mount our hardware for the bed stiffener. And the way we're going to do that, if you guys follow the, well, I'm going to leave that in a link, the Alpha Rex taillight install video. This will also show you how to remove the taillights and reinstall them. But just as a reminder, it's going to be your top bolt, your second bolt down. We're going to skip over the 3rd one and just remove your 4th one. So 1, 2, and 4 are going to be removed only. So now, just as I stated in the Alpha Rex taillight install video, now that you have your 1, 2, and 4 bolts down removed, you're going to pull the taillight straight off, straight out. It's just going to pull out, and I'm going to let this one just sit here. I'm not going to have to disconnect anything to progress in this install. So once you've removed your taillight, the next step is going to be removing this bed bolt. That's a the T55. Now, another thing on this T55 is, I have a Torx bit set. The largest I have in my set is a T50. I had to go and I actually just ordered this off Amazon just for this use and just to have one as a T55. This is the a larger one than what I had in my kit. If you guys don't have one of these, I'm gonna link it in the description on the Amazon link to pick one of these up. You're also gonna need your T40 Torx bit to undo this hook here. And now don't worry about losing your hook, because actually I think these bed stiffeners have hooks here built in, so you can still retain you know, running a bungee or whatever you guys want to run to secure cargo down. You can still use the hook that's on the bed stiffener for the same use as the Tacoma OEM hooks that we're removing. Now this guy is pretty tight, so I'm going to be using a 1/2" drive. This is a 3/8 drive Torx T55, so I'm going to use an adapter and run 1/2" drive to my 1/2" drive breaker bar just to break it free, and then I'm going to use a 1/2" drive ratchet to remove the full bolt. Okay guys, once you get that factory loop off, you're gonna have to remove the stack up order of all these washers. We're gonna have to reuse that to reinstall the bed stiffener. So the way I did that, just using a small flathead screwdriver, I broke it free, and now I should be able to remove the packing in order and keep it in order, because that's very important for reinstall of your bed stiffener. Alright, so here's roughly the orientation of how you want everything. So now that I have those out, you can see the most important thing you want to remember is to keep the inside of this, where the loops are, towards the front of the truck, towards the cab of the truck. You don't want it on the outside. That way they'll be backwards if you do that. Now we're going to reinstall, and we're going to install these bed stiffeners, starting with this 7/16 bolt, right? Is going to go through the hole of the T40 hole that we took the factory ring off, and then you're going to just reuse this OEM stack up of the washers and nuts and hardware onto the other side of this bolt. Okay guys, before I'm going to thread that in and reinstall and install this bed stiffener, I'm going to make sure I remove this 10mm bolt up here. That's going to get in the way. We're going to have to remove that to actually install the whole thing. So I have the bed stiffener in place. Don't tighten it all the way down, and do not forget to install your washer, one of 2 washers on this side of the stiffener. And this, obviously, this washer is going to be for the other side. Alright, so now we get that one in. We're going to reinstall our big bed bolt through here, get that started, and we're also going to reinstall our 10mm bolt up there, and just be careful not to strip those either. Now that you have everything in place, besides the ones you need to drill out, you can go ahead and actually snug it all up. Give this one a good snug. I'm unsure on the torque value. I'm pretty sure I can go find it. I will link it if I find it in the description. But you just want to snug these all up now. I know I said to leave this one loose. That was just to be able to align all these better, make it a little bit easier. But you can snug these up and get ready to drill your holes. Alright, so the bed stiffener is in place on the passenger side of the truck. Now use your drill to drill through these 3 bottom, mid, top holes all the way through, so we can mount the rest of the hardware and mount the stiffener through. Use your eye protection and be careful on the top one. There's a brace plate back here. Be careful not to hit it when you drill through. So once your holes are drilled, you're going to insert your 3 bolts and a washer behind, as well as a washer and locking nut on the other side. And I'm just going to be using my 1/2-inch Milwaukee bit from my Milwaukee Impact and a 1/2-inch wrench for the other side for the nut, to hold the nut and suck it down. So here you have your bed stiffener installed fully, and now you're just going to reinstall your taillight, put the bolts back in, secure the taillight in, and then move to the other side. Alright, so now this side is complete. Tail light is back in, everything is buttoned up. And now we're just going to move to the other side before we actually trim our bed mat. Okay, so we already got this side in. Our 10, our 7/16 bolt down here, and our composite, our bed bolt. All that is snugged in, so now we're going to re-drill our holes for the driver's side, as well as the taillight being removed the same way, in the same fashion. Alright, now that we have both sides installed and ready to go, I am now going to be marking where to trim my bed mat. And I think I'm going to mark it kind of right where it is, and just follow, kind of eye it up, and trim out a section of the bed mat, so the bed mat can sit down all the way on the bed. And while I'm at it, I might as well take the bed mat completely out to trim it, because it's a damn mess. It needs to be cleaned, as well as blowing out the bed itself. So as you can see, I've now marked my little square section of the mat that I need to remove. The way I did that was just by using a square straight edge here and just eyeing it up with the bed mat inside here. So there's the bed mat inside the bed, and I eyed it up, just eye judgment on this edge, and then eyed it up, kind of marked an edge here, and that should be sufficient enough to clear the bed stiffener so this mat can sit flush. The tool I'm going to be using here is my nifty Dremel tool with the cutoff wheel again. And that should be enough to chew through and make a nice cut through our bed mat here. Might take a little bit more time to cut down into it, but it's probably going to be one of the best ways to actually trim this out. Alright guys, so this is the finished product, the bed mat in place. As you can see, the trim job was pretty decent. Fits nicely around the bed stiffener so that the bed mat can sit flush. And you know, so far it looks like you guys can mount your accessories here, or a accessory here like a CB antenna or a ghost antenna. And obviously you still have your hooks here to bungee and strap in cargo from the rear of the truck here. And this should help with my added rooftop weight tent and everything else that I put in the truck, especially when your rear end of the truck is articulating off-road. It'll keep the rear end of the truck healthier and keep the bed in good shape so nothing gets broken. Okay guys, this concludes this upload for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a quick little install. I hope I was able to help you guys decide on whether the bed stiffeners alone, just the concept and the idea, is worth it for you and for what you'll be using your truck for. That being said, take care, have a good night. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I want to appreciate all the most recent subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and I will continue to be making as many uploads as possible about the truck.